Hi, I'm your host Shalagna for today's episode where we would be talking about the vital role which caregivers play in the lives of those people who are suffering from urine leaks every other day. So we'll be talking to Dr. Shrikala Prasad, who has a vast experience of 32 years, and she herself is a senior consultant, urology and laparoscopic surgeon in Prime Indian Hospital, which is in Chennai. My first question to you would be, how crucial is the role of a caregiver in someone's life who is suffering from urine leaks?
See, first of all, we need to know how urinary incontinence affects women itself. See, if a person has some tumor or anything, they do come out and tell. But they themselves are ashamed, are embarrassed to come and tell their own spouse, their own children. They feel ashamed. So most of them, even though they are well off, they have a good insurance cover, they don't come out. And so only if they tell the caregiver they have the problem, will the caregiver be able to take care. And the caregiver must have a clear idea as to what the problem is. You know why I'm emphasizing this? Many people think that urinary leak is part of aging. Of course, I do agree that it is the aged population are suffering definitely because of urinary leak. But we cannot dump them and say, look, this is a part of aging, you have to suffer with it. So the first and foremost thing that we need to tell our caregivers is, yes, it is a problem, more so in the elderly, but many of the problems, see, incontinence is just a symptom. It's like, fever. You have to find out why this patient has urinary leak. So only if they know that urinary incontinence, a vast majority of the urinary incontinence are treatable. So the caregiver must first know at least this is treatable, it is common, it is treatable. It is not that, they are purposely doing. Especially when I see, I'm sorry to say, but if the daughter-in-law is there and the mother-in-law leaks urine on her way to the toilet, what we call an urgency urinary incontinence, she will think, that this elderly lady is, spoiling the house. She's making the house smell of urine. So she will have wrong ideas on the mother-in-law that she is purposely doing it. Or they even think, what is it? She's become so old. Can't she control it? So they will have so many wrong ideas. So it is imperative that we tell our caregivers. See, most of the caregivers are good. So we need to tell them the different causes of incontinence, why it occurs, how it can be treated, what are the evaluation we need, for whom we need weight reduction, whom we need physiotherapy, whom we need medicines, to whom we need surgery. And there are some high-end surgeries also. Or if you're not able to do it, then you have to think of diapers and things.
Can you also talk about the emotional aspects the caregiver goes through while taking care of someone?
First of all, it is very difficult. Each person is a very busy person. If you take the caregivers also, by themselves, out of 24 hours of work, they are busy 18 hours. They hardly have time to take care of themselves. Now, if they have the responsibility of taking care of another person who cannot take care of themselves, then it becomes very difficult. Supposing you're taking care of a person for a week or for 10 days, it's easy. But day in and day out, 24/7 by 365, if you have to take care of a person who leaks urine, then it is difficult. But the caregivers must be highly informed as to what should be done, and they also should be supported. See, it's not that we're finding fault with the daughter or the daughter-in-law. If they go on taking care day in and day out, say for about 5 years, 6 years, 8 years, every time, I told you these women also work for 18, 19 hours, and Within this short time, they have to take care of the others and they don't have any rest. They also feel very let down. They feel emotionally defeated. They can feel guilty. So you have to teach them that it is not wrong to feel tired. It is not wrong to feel worked up as to what you can do. So there are so many things by which you can guide them. Like, for example, she's a working woman. She needs a helper in the night. She has to employ somebody. So you can save your mental peace as well take care of the patient who requires total care.
So sometimes for caregivers also, it is also the first time ever that they are encountering something of this sort. So how do you think they can identify that their loved ones are going through urine leaks and are suffering from incontinence?
First of all, we should clearly differentiate whether there is a correctable cause of urinary leak. If there is a correctable cause, then go for it. Say surgical, it's easy. However age the patient is, we can make them surgically correct. If after evaluation you feel it is correctable, then there are a lot of other patients where medicines will act. So that also we have to give. And the other, you may need a clean intermittent catheterization. We have to organize, either teach the patient to do or the caregiver to do intermittent catheterization. If all these doesn't work, we have to think of diapers. Now, if it is a bedridden patient on a diaper, then we have to think of her hygiene. See that, she doesn't wet, it doesn't become very soggy. You have to keep her private parts dry. And a bedridden patient doesn't have any bed sores. All those things we have to take care. We have to take care of her nourishment. In case this patient leaks but is able to get up and to go to the toilet, then we can practice timed voiding. You have some scheduled times. Say for example, every 2 hours or every 2.5 hours. We usually guide them with the bladder diary. So we know how much is their rough functional time. So accordingly, we can advise them, take them, escort them to the toilet. Similarly, she has leak in the night. At night, it is very difficult for the caregiver also to get up and help. So don't give milk, etc. in the late night. If you want to give milk, give it in the evening. And you can finish her dinner by 7:30 and whatever fluid you want to give it at that time. Don't give late in the night. So small adjustments in taking care will go a long way. More than the care, we must ensure that we don't, shame them or bully them if they leak. So this is a patient, if for the first time you are seeing urinary leak in the patient, this patient must be evaluated. It is not straight away you leave her for a home care with some person. Why does the patient leak? So in India is a diabetic capital of the world. So we would like to know her sugar status, how her bladder and the kidneys are. We do an ultrasound and we will check on the post-void residue. Normally, a patient when they pass urine, they will empty the bladder almost fully, except maybe about 30 to 40 ml. Even up to 1/3, we don't worry. Are they emptying properly? So we need to know. But if you ask me danger signals, if there is any blood-stained urine, yes, I'm terribly worried. It's a marker of any malignancy also. But if a patient has a catheter and some amount of blood-stained urine is there, I'm not worried. But otherwise, blood-stained urine is a warning symptom. So then we have to worry. Otherwise, see, always I just compare it to a fever. Just a fever, there's no point in giving paracetamol. You have to know why the fever is, how many days you had like that. Supposing this urinary leak happened after a surgery, then I would think of a fistula. Happened after a delivery, I again think of a fistula. Or supposing some surgery like piles, wherein the bladder was not involved at all, I would think because of the pain she has not emptied the bladder, I will think of overflowing incontinence. So, as a first line for managing the urinary incontinence, it is ideal that the patient is seen by a qualified person, evaluated And then we come to a decision as to what we are going to do. Please see that you take care of the patient in a very perfect way. As well, take care of yourself. We do understand that you are also overworked, you also require some rest. So you also need some amount of time to sleep. But during which time somebody else must be there to take care. So you should balance the situation, take help, and employ professional people to take care also. That is not a shame. Many of these elderly women, they think they will say in Tamil, I'm going to be like this for my entire lifetime. So we have to tell them it is not like that. So that is when we teach this bladder training. This is that once you teach them, they do cooperate, because ultimately they want to remain dry. They are very much worried about this. So you can teach them how to help us in taking care of themselves. So if you do a combined effort, we will win. India has very less number of physiotherapists as compared to gynecologists or any primary physician. So most of the gynecologists, urologists or urogynecologists have to double up the role of a physiotherapy. It is now only that we are getting specialized physiotherapy, and this biofeedback etc. is only now coming up. Earlier we didn't have. But if this facility is available, it will teach the patient, be aware how to do the pelvic floor muscle contraction correctly. Is she doing it rightly? Those stimuli will help her contract the muscles, because many a times when we teach them pelvic floor muscle training, they may contract the buttocks, they may do breath holding, they may contract the abdominal muscles. So if available, biofeedback is of a great use. And I sincerely hope that we will be having more such facility to help our patients, which is a very useful armamentarium in the field of urinary incontinence.
Thank you for watching us and being with us. Stay tuned for more such episodes on urinary leaks and how you can manage it well and have a healthier and happier life. Thank you.